Hey everybody, welcome back to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hospital. This is Mono Blue Extra Turns, also known as Taking Turns, with Opt, new and improved with Opt, and this is a mulligan. Oh Jesus, bad, but I guess we're gonna keep it. Oh god, that's terrible. I don't know, it has a dictate. It'd be nice if I won a dice roll, but alas. So the plan is to take all the turns. With Opt, we now have 9 1-mana cantrips in the deck, which is great. We want to play Dictate and Howling Mine, and then we want, because these draws us extra cards, and then we just want to take all the turns and eventually kill our opponent with an awakened, I suppose, land from Part the Waterveil. Just 6 them at a time until they die. Tarmogoyf has entered the revealed zone. Okay. So we're playing against Jund here. Abrupt Decay is annoying. However, Dictate into Cryptic is pretty good. Liliana of the Veil would be the worst possible card for us to see right now. So it makes perfect sense that he has it. Yeah, this is going to be pretty bad. Right on time, Opt. Could have used you last turn. Okay, well, this is frankly terrible for us. We lost the dice roll. It's not Jund, it's junk. Our opponent had the Dark Confidant into the Liliana, which are pretty much all the best things for him to have. So that's unfortunate. All hope is not lost, but it's going to be an uphill battle with Dictate. I mean, we play Dictate into Cryptic, that's good. But our opponent also might just Abrupt Decay our Dictate, and then basically we're dead. We have a very small window here. It involves our opponent not Abrupt Decaying our Dictate at the end of the turn. Wow. Okay, well, there goes our Cryptic command. This matchup seems like it's going to be hard. Whew. Okay. Yeah, I won't lie. Having Dictate into Cryptic was sort of the plan here. There's the Tarmogoyf. 5/6 for good measure. Well, let's hope we draw some really good cards off this Dictated Crucifix. Okay, that's a card. It's a magic card too. I just gotta play it out. We have very few outs, but we do have a couple here. So what's gonna happen here is our opponent's gonna plus. We're going to. It depends what their 6 cards in hand are. But basically we have to hit land into Time Warp and then try to go off. And I've gone off in worse spots before. And drawing 3 cards a turn makes it, you know, I'm not going to say possible or likely or whatever, but it is certainly possible. Not beyond the realm of possibility that we can win from this position, especially being able to Opt here. Okay, we're going to Opt now. This is... Why couldn't that have just been on top of our deck? Opt is so much worse than Seer Visions, am I right? We're getting Inquisitioned. Guess we bottom it because we can hit our land. And... No, I put it on the bottom. We just drew another one, huh? And we have... Jeez. Oh my gosh, this is... it's very, very unlucky. Okay, well now we have 3 cards, and it has to be land and Time Warp. So, or another temporal, one of the other 2 temporal masteries on top. This has been incredibly unlucky. If I just put it into my hand, we would have... Oh my gosh. If I just put it in my hand, we would have drawn the other one. Is this the Abrupt Decay? Obviously. So now it has to be exactly Land and Time Warp. It was not. You know what? We're not dead. We are going to get Liliana ultimated, though. Which essentially kills us. We also could have been on the play. And, this game was so dumb. Okay. I'm not dead. I can... I'm dead. Okay. That was silly. All right, let's sideboard though. Let's give it a shot after sideboarding. Remands seem good. Spreading Seas seems good. This spell doesn't seem great. We can get rid of the Sleight of Hand here. You're probably get rid of the Temporal Trespass. Temporal Trespass can be good in these matchups because it can basically be an undercosted time warp effect later. We can get rid of Giga Drowse here. The plan against a deck like this is very simple. You just have to have the right effects. And this is where you really actually kind of get punished for not having the second Howling Mind. So you have very few dictates. Yeah, this is not going to be great here. You know what? Honestly, well, Giga Drowse can buy you a turn, and it can time walk them by hitting their lands in their upkeep. So that is pretty good. Sleight of Hand might just help us find what we need, though. Maybe if the plan is not to survive or to do anything tricky, the plan is just to just try to get there. Just fight through it all. Our opponent had a very good draw against us. And we still had some outs there. In fact, gosh, 2 Time Warps on top, Temporal Masteries on top. If I bottomed one, if Opt had not been what Opt is, we would have miracled it. And even then, if I was like, whatever, I'll just draw it, I could have miracled the second one and got another 2 draws there. And we had the land, so we would add another 2 shots at a Time Warp to try to win the game. So unlikely to win there, but even we did have outs. Now after sideboarding, when our opponent gets to load up, it's pretty rough. You kind of want to win game 1 there. Yeah, that was not great. Not great. But we got a shot. Our opponent's going deep on the sideboard, so it's probably bad for us. These matchups aren't good because there's just a lot of removal that the decks pack. Hand Disruption. And I'm only on mono blue here. You should deal yourself no damage, which is nice. You could play white. You could even try to... No, you probably can't make it... Yeah, it's just Seachrome Coast, I think, and then... I mean, maybe like with Seachrome Coast, and maybe you could play a mana base of Seachrome Coast, Glacial Fortress, and the Prairie Stream, and have a painless blue-white mana base that also everything was still blue for your triple blue spells. But I don't think so. There's a lot of cards there that come into play tap when you don't want them to. Yeah, why not? You have to assume our hand's just going to get wrecked, so this gets to mess with them. Buy us a turn. See how it goes here. Spreading Seas is pretty nice in this matchup, though. Liliana just took our cookies, stole our lunch. I was trying to think of more analogies for bad stuff happening there. On the basketball court, it would be took your cookies. Oh, perfect! Look at that. Less perfect drawing it this turn, but I will still take the opportunity to wreck the Shambling Mint. Keeps us from getting Inquisitioned in theory. Opt first. Another Opt. Why not? Serum Visions. Ooh, double Remand, huh? Why not? I'll just keep them. Remand will be pretty good here, I think. Assuming we don't get Liliana this turn. If we do, we might be dead. We could also, you know, we might also be able to set up a cryptic command into remand play, though. We are going to get Liliana'd because you always get Liliana'd when you have your remands a turn too late. Yes, if I had bottomed the second opt, we would have drawn it. I'm just... The story of this match is us... yeah, man. The story of this match is us just drawing things in the wrong order. Like, just how frustrating is that? Okay, well... we have to discard the exhaustion here. This honestly could still work fine. We get to cryptic command whatever our opponent casts and bounces Liliana, and then next turn remand Liliana, and whatever else he does. It actually could be a lot worse. It depends what this spell is, but Tarmogoyf is perfect. Alright, counter target spell, return target permanent. Well, the problem is we aren't actually doing anything. Our opponent gets to replay the Tarmogoyf, so we're going to be getting beat down. Oh no, we countered it, not remanded it. We are remanding the next thing. Well, let's see what it is here. I actually would like it to be... I don't want it to be Dark Confidant. I think that scares me the most. Tasigur, okay. Tasigar's pretty good. We get a cryptic the Liliana here. We can actually cryptic bounce this. Ooh, saucy. Might do that. He'd have 2 in his graveyard. He'd have to tap out for the Tasigur, and then we get to remand the Tasigur. This buys us the most time, I think. Perfect, okay. And that's a lot of really good cards we can shuffle back in as well. Alright, so hopefully our opponent just taps on out for the Tasigur here. Oh, Liliana. Oh, that's less good for us. Alright, there's a Dictate. Starting to make some progress. There's a Traverse, I assume. Oh, Noble Hierarch. Do I remand the Noble Hierarch? Or do I shuffle all these sweet cards back into my deck? I don't think I remand the Noble Hierarch. I think I remand Liliana next turn. Okay. Well, I guess I did shuffle a bunch of non-lands in, but this is good. We get to remand Liliana and then play Dictate. Ooh, into exhaustion, as a matter of fact. Still gonna get Grimflared, I guess, but it's not the end of the world. All right, we're putting together something here. As a matter of fact, exhaustion into Dictate, and then hopefully we'll find a turn and win the game from there. We'll have 3 shots at it. Plus, we'll have a few lands in play, so any of the cycling. The spells at cantrip are good as well. Opponent gets the value with the Grimflayer here, but that doesn't... I mean, whatever he's doing here doesn't matter much. I think what matters is how good our next 3 draw steps are. Right, here comes the Tasigur. Okay. Alright, Dictate out. Dictate deployed. We can even take a hit, but I'd like to just win here. Not there yet. Opt. Alright, we'll take an exhaustion. I accept that. Ooh, okay. Put this on top. Put this on top. Play exhaustion on our opponent. Pass the turn. I think we're going to win this one. All our opponent can do is bash us for 4, Inquisition us, I suppose. Take our thing. It doesn't matter. I guess he attacks us for 5, but realistically not going to matter. I think the game's over. In favor of us. We got there. And this is, like I said, this is the worst matchup, and we're going to, you know, we're at least going to win a game. Okay, opponent just scooped. Yeah. All right. Well, that was, according to plan, that was textbook. You can see where Temporal Trespass would have been good there because we had a bunch of cards in our graveyard before we popped that elixir. That's how you want it to go, though. It turns out Cryptic Command is just broken. I've seen some versions of this deck that don't run 4 Cryptic Command, and I think it's just wrong. It's just, like, incredibly wrong. The card is so good. Our opponent had turn 3 Liliana, and we had Island Remand in hand or something at that point, and we won. It may have been Island Cryptic Remand. Either way, we beat that turn 3 Liliana handily, you know, and that's all thanks to the power of Cryptic Command. They're chaining Cryptic Commands. Anything less than 4 is just wrong in this deck. You know, this deck ideally, it wants to keep the interaction, in my opinion, to a minimum, in that you want to spend your first 1 to 2 turns. Well, like your first turn, you want to play a cantrip. Your second turn, you want to Spreading Sea something. Your third turn, you want to play Dictate. Your fourth turn, you want to play a Cryptic up, which at that point, if your opponent's playing an aggro deck, you can tap down their team and not die. Great. If they're playing a different deck that does something relevant, you can counter it and do whatever, whether it's bouncing something or tapping or cycling, and so on. And then on your fifth turn, you cast Time Warp and win the game, and that's basically how the deck wants to play. Or, you know, Exhaustion obviously fits in there as well, and that's just how you want to go about things with this deck. I don't like playing the Remands. They're great in the main deck. They're great when they're good. It's obviously nice to remand the turn 3 Liliana and time walk your opponent, but when you're trying to go off, I think Spreading Seas is better because it allows you to just keep the gas flowing. And I think that's really important in the deck, especially now that you have this opt as well. Everything cycles. Then again, on the other hand, maybe having opt means you can afford to play Remand, which is a blank when you go off, because you have more cantrips in the deck now. My main deck went from 7 cantrips before with 4 Serum Visions and 3 Slights to 9 cantrips with 4 Serum Visions, 4 Opt, and the Sleight of Hand. But I don't know. So I think Opt is extremely good for the deck, despite actually kind of being unlucky for us in this match. But I think that this deck is best when it's streamlined. And that's why I don't play weird stuff like Miku. This hand's pretty good. I don't play stuff like Miku Koro or stuff that's slow. I just play Radiant Fountain because it keeps you alive against the aggro decks to execute your game plan, and you're proactive and doing the same thing every game. And that's, I think, what you want to do. I miss Serum Visions here, and this is exactly why. Okay. So next turn we're going to play the Elixir, and then we'll Temporal Trespass, or Temporal Mastery. That's why I led, a lot of times in a lot of decks it's right to hold Serum Visions, because you don't know what you need, and that doesn't really matter. Like, at all. I guess I shouldn't say at all. It means we have to be careful not to deck ourselves, but it just kind of doesn't matter. I love our opponent doing that on turn 2. Obviously, he has a Liliana on turn 3 because we never not played against that card. We might be able to beat it though. Guess I just get rid of this part, the Water Veil. Our opponent's gonna have, he had turn 3 Liliana in all 3 games here. Fortunately, this time we at least get to explore, dang it. We actually get to do quite a bit more than that given this Serum Visions here. Whew, okay. Those are solid. Alright, play Serum Visions, see what we find. Not very good cards. So this is actually super awkward This is our only win condition because we can't activate this. We can Cryptic bounce this later, though. I'll go with that plan. Because I need to bottom these cards and find a Dictate to win the game. But this is actually our only win condition left without being able to activate this. But we can Cryptic Command, bounce Stony Silence, and activate this once we get to a point of control. And we just need to get to a point of control, which means I need to bottom both of these. Because we basically have to find a, you know, we need to find a way to win now. We have to, this Liliana's not going to give us a lot of time, so. Yeah, we got to explore, but we're on a pretty short clock here if we're finding a Dictator or a Howling Mine. And we've got the time warps, and that's great. So we're actually very close to turning the corner, but we're not there. So I could have hit the Blooming Marsh to take him off green. Or it wouldn't have taken him off green. It would have, I don't know. It would have taken him off of, he still could have gone green-black, I guess, and still had Grim Flayers. I don't think we could take him off anything but white mana here. Alright, I can afford to pitch one land here. Our opponent's throwing away Abrupt Decays. That's probably not good for us. Our Lord and Savior. Okay. Alright, Remand. So I actually can't do anything here. I'm down to pitching Time Warps. And this Liliana's just going to kill us. Stupid turn 3 Liliana every single game. We really need our opponent to cast a spell here. Okay, good. Well, I don't think I like whatever he's going to cast. I mean, we still have to Thoughtseize this because we basically have to cycle this because we have to hit a Dictate here. We did not hit a Dictate. We're dead. Yeah. We're pretty dead. Stupid Liliana. Turn 3 Liliana is the hardest thing to beat. Actually, everything else he did we didn't care about. We were going to win this game even. Turn 3 Liliana, though. And we still haven't found we haven't found a Cryptic or anything, right? So I think I actually have to pitch this. Because we're just in dig for Cryptic mode right now. That's clearly not a Cryptic command. Yeah, this was a dumb way to lose. But Liliana the Veil is the best Planeswalker in Modern. And to be honest, even if Jace was in the format, Liliana would still be better. Yep, right on time. Okay. Well, maybe we'll beat a Liliana Ultimate. It happens, right? I realized I said something controversial there, right? I said Liliana would be better than Jace, the Mind Sculptor. I think that's true. Might not be. The difference is Liliana's ceiling is much lower than Jace's, right? I think the floor on Liliana is much better because it costs 3 mana instead of 4. But I think the ceiling for Jace is better because if there's a world where Jace is good, if Jace the Mind Sculptor is good, for one, the card would instantly be $200 or more if it got unbanned. But I think that the world where the Mind Sculptor is as good as Liliana is, in terms of decks it's played in or whatever, would be much scarier. Alright, so what our opponent doesn't know is we actually have to keep this. I love these piles right now. Keep this pile, as is. I chose which pile to sacrifice, didn't I? Yep, that's really stupid. Alright, I guess we died. Not that we really had outs anyways here. That other pile would have, we still would have basically, yeah, I don't even know what we could have drawn. Well, we got Liliana, and we beat a turn 3 Liliana one game. In this game, we could not find, I mean, we had turns to either find a Dictate or a Cryptic Command, and we couldn't find them. But either way, it was, you can see how you can win the matchup. You know, your opponent doesn't play turn 3 Liliana on you 3 games in a row. That's step 1. because that's what we lost to. The 2 games we lost was Liliana on the draw on the play. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. It was a closer match than obviously we get blown out pretty hard in the end, but we almost turned the corner in that game, and we did beat Liliana 1 game. But it's a good Planeswalker, so good game, guys. Thanks for watching.